Hi, I'm Heather.
And I'm Edmund, and this is All Positive Reviews.
So positive.
We need to be to get through this episode of Game of Thrones.
Yes.
The Long Night.
Yeah, it was a great night.
The longest episode of Game of Thrones up to this point.
Yeah, but it was a good one.
Oh,
it
very
didn't feel long.
No, it didn't at all. I will say, so starting things off, that score.
Oh yes, the score. Mm-hmm.
But especially on this one though, like there was a lot of great piano music. There was some music that seemed almost video game-ish, and a lot of horror stuff.
A lot of horror stuff, yes.
Lots of horror stuff. If you are a horror fan, this is a great episode for you because there's some tense stuff. Even just in the beginning, I love the build-up as everybody's getting ready, preparing for the battle, and we have a very surprise return coming in. The Red Witch.
Oh, she's great.
Oh, absolutely.
I say everybody's great.
But you know what they don't all have?
What?
Fire magic.
I know, and I love fire magic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in those circumstances, fire magic's always good. So.
We've seen, some bad consequences of fire, so I was glad to see, some positive repercussions of fire.
Yeah.
Although, and this doesn't sound like a positive, I bring it up because it's very well done, it's very effective, but that fire didn't last that long.
No, it didn't. It went out pretty quick, and it just got really dark.
Jorah was like, "Your Grace, it's not good out there. I'll protect you in here." Beautiful episode.
Oh my god, some of the shots were amazing. I mean, we'll get into dragons and stuff later, but that shot of the dragons, gorgeous.
Yes.
I mean, I want that as just a picture. Especially, I like it when it's the fighting and everything else, but especially when it's the two dragons, when Jon and Dany get up there at the first time and you just see them both. Oh, it's just beautiful. Oh my god.
I love when they do all the tracking cinematography, especially when they're inside the castle and you're having whole battles going on and you're having these little horror sections that go through that are terrifying. We'll get to those in a second. But I just love the sweep of the whole thing.
Oh,
it
yeah.
glides and it's scary.
No, it is.
To quote Edison Towlett in the last episode, they were fucked.
Yeah, no kidding.
The Night King and his army does not play, and I actually really appreciated that. The ice storm was a great touch.
Yes, making it hard to see. Couldn't see a damn thing.
One thing I love is how, it may have seemed like people made bad decisions, but I think a lot of it was because they were realistically showing none of these people had seen the undead before up close, just running at them and stuff.
Right.
And that's a totally different thing than fighting, living flesh and blood people.
Right.
So their struggle, their just instant fear was just gratifying to see. It's as epic as they promised. Absolutely.
I can't wait to see like all the makings of and how they did all the scenes and it pieced everything together.
Yeah.
We get to see so much more of Winterfell.
Oh, yeah.
Because you could tell they expanded it a lot so that they would have enough areas to show. So you're going through the same few areas, so they expanded it a lot, which was great. And so it was neat to get to see more of Winterfell.
Although it was terrifying to see how quickly those zombies got over it, man, and into it. One touch that I loved was there was a point where they had the trench lit and they just piled themselves on top of each other to make a bridge to let all the other ones through.
Yes.
And you just see the joy that everyone had 2 seconds ago when they lit the trench.
Just gone.
Gone. Which, speaking of, we should probably talk about some of them, as in the people in this episode.
Oh, the amazing people. These actors, they're just the best actors you can get, and their scenes and everything that they do is just wonderful, so you can never say enough good thing about them, but, to get little bits of it, Grey Worm, always amazing. I mean, they're all always amazing, though.
The Unsullied really earned their stripes. I mean, they already had, but they really proved that.
Yeah.
They saved so many lives.
But I mean, there was nothing that the ones coming running back could do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm sure they were running back to help Warren, because Jorah comes running back as well. You know what I mean? And they need to let them know that there's, you know.
Yeah.
It's going to be awful, so...
We already mentioned Melisandre. She's terrific this episode, and has a most elegant out at the end of this whole thing.
Oh, it was beautiful.
We have both Mormonts.
Yeah.
Both Mormonts are indispensable this episode. I mean, it's a little sad. They you know that they both bite it.
Are gone.
But Jorah gets to bite it as the knight he always wanted to be by Dany's side.
Yep, saved her.
And then Lyanna fucking Mormont went out David and Goliath style.
Oh, yes.
With more courage than I will ever have in this lifetime. Honestly, the Mormonts were the emotional centerpiece for me. Like in terms of the devastation part of the episode, like we were feeling that. Oh no, like that's where I felt it the most for the two of them. Yeah, Theon close second though.
Oh, I loved that moment with Theon, just because he finally was told he was good. Mm-hmm. And he's needed to hear that, I think, all his life. And that was just a wonderful moment where he was told, you know, you are good and thank you.
We had been looking so forward to the Jaime and Bran conversation, but I didn't realize how much I'd been looking forward to the Theon and Bran conversation.
Right. I know there's so many conversations to look forward to. Mm-hmm. There's so many different things that happen that you get to see that are just wonderful that you've been waiting for. Some of them you forget.
Yeah, like the trailer line that I didn't realize was attributed to
Theon. I know. I had been wondering who that was too, but that makes sense now.
The things I did.
Everything you did brought you where you are now. Where you belong. Home.
The Hound. I feel bad for my dude, and I'm glad he pulled himself out of it. But they had a real striking, actually, thread between him and Theon, because they both had their moment of PTSD. Yeah. I mean, Theon's was last season, but the Hound, and I don't blame him, there's too much fire.
Every time there's fire, he's immobilized. But, I mean, that's what happens with PTSD to some people, is you're literally immobilized.
Mm-hmm. And I loved seeing kind of the pull between him, Beric, and Arya. Yes. Throughout that whole thing. Arya twirling. She one-upped Oberyn easily. We'll get to her a little more in just a minute.
Yeah.
I'm trying to run through everybody else. I mean, Dany on the field of battle.
I loved her picking up the sword. She can be crazy.
But she did really well on the battlefield.
She did really well.
I think we can talk a little bit about the dragons now, you know, because we're shifting to Dany a little bit, because we had Dany and Jon doing helicopter recon. The 2-on-1 dragon battle, which started like dragon jaws in the sky, with the Night King just sort of using the cloud cover and his frost spells and sniping at them. It was great. Oh, he was such a cocky piece of shit. I loved him.
So great, though.
I loved him.
He smiled in this episode. It's nice when people smile.
It takes me back to watching Dragon Ball Z as a kid and seeing every villain, you know, get thrown everything at them by the hero, and they just come out smirking as the dust clears.
Frieza.
Yes, no, absolutely Frieza. Both ice related.
Exactly.
I love it. But they did a really good job. Yes. I liked when the dragons finally came together. And actually, you know, Jon doesn't get enough credit because he literally flew Rhaegal for the first time like a week ago.
Yeah, exactly.
And he had to fly him through a winter storm dealing with a 1,000-year-old ice demon king.
Yeah.
I think he did reasonably well.
Oh, no, I think he did very well. I think they all did.
I mean, they downed him. They did down him off the dragon.
I love that shot of him just falling. Like all stiff because he's so stiff. It's funny.
No, but Jon was really good though. I mean, he fell down too, but I love his standoff with the Night King and the callback to Hardhome.
Yeah.
But no, very threatening. very scary, but I love that cockiness. Like
I loved it. Yeah, he was great. Just, walking. Like, whatever. I'm so much more powerful than you guys.
I appreciate the little bits of personality that were given through him.
Okay, so Tyrion and Sansa.
AKA high stakes hide and seek.
But yes, that was wonderful. But even just those moments with Tyrion and Sansa. I have been a Tyrion and Sansa fan forever.
Mm-hmm.
I've been looking forward to them being back together. They're both so smart.
Maybe we should have stayed married.
You were the best of them.
What a terrifying thought.
So, I don't know. I just really think that I just love the two of them. So I totally think that they should hook up.
These last 2 episodes of Tyrion have been on point.
Yes.
On point.
And it needs to stay that way because I love Tyrion.
So, Arya.
Oh, Arya now. Okay,
Arya
was amazing. From her Jurassic Park kitchen scene to her being the one, which I knew.
Mm-hmm.
But
MVP of the episode, and it was an episode where the women kicked a lot of ass.
Thank goodness.
But Arya in particular was the absolute best. Like, yeah, you said the Jurassic Park sequence.
Oh my god, it was such a great moment.
She was so quiet.
Oh yes.
I was really impressed by that, and it was one of the best Walking Dead episodes I've seen in a while.
God, yeah.
That 10 minutes.
Yes.
To her reuniting with the Hound and Beric kind of getting to do a version of Lady Stoneheart from the books.
Yes.
I mean, nobody's coming back from the dead, but
he did a few times. So.
This one's been killed 6 times. You don't hear him bitching about it.
But he died so he could save Arya and so that she could live. He saved a Stark girl.
Right.
With all of that, they really did a good job of wrapping up so many prophecies and visions and character arcs all in one fell swoop. But no, Melisandre, she gets to reunite with Arya, close out her arc that way by just giving, reminding Arya the information.
Which was such a great scene. I love the fact that 3 of the people on her list were the ones who got her through it and pushed her to finish it. And gave her all the keys that she needed to do to finish it.
What do we say to the god of death?
Not today.
No, so many character arcs are wrapped up in there that you would almost think the Hounds would be done if you didn't realize Clegane Bowl was still on the horizon.
Oh yeah, that's the reason that one's still alive.
Mm-hmm.
The other ones fulfilled their purpose. Now we still have things left for him and Arya to do together.
Yes. Thankfully, during Arya and Gendry's night together, he must have given her some running tips. Although
right.
not that she needed it.
No. She got the running from fucking Terminator Wave.
Yes.
Remember that little Terminator girl? Yeah. That's where she got her running. Like, if you think about it, every move she made throughout that episode, we saw, like, a piece of her.
Oh, yeah. She runs to go fulfill her prophecy, which leads back to the Night King.
Yes.
So I love his moment with Theon and Bran for that same reason I brought up earlier about personality and such. But there's just a moment of gravity there. And you really get to soak in just how dire all of this is.
Then you just see Arya.
In the ballsiest,
it's awesome,
best move that the episode makes, making Arya the ultimate fulfiller of this, which we there was a lot of inclination that she had to be. She was given the Valyrian steel dagger specifically by Bran. You said it a lot of times, it's true. I love that they went for the not obvious move, wiping the Night King clean. But after a super long, brutal, devastating, intense episode where, we lost a fair amount of characters.
Well, we still have a lot of episodes to go.
We do. We have 3.
I mean, it's only 3 episodes in a way, but they're 3 extremely long episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the people that we have left, we still need because they still have, like, heavy plot armor going. we couldn't really lose a lot of Lannisters, because that's down there.
Yes.
That battle is still going on, and you have to remember that the Night King was an obstacle. It was an obstacle that put them at a major loss, but it was not what the show was about.
Not entirely,
Cersei is what the show is about. Like, it started from an action that she caused,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's going to finish with her.
Yeah.
And the Game of Thrones.
Yeah, as the show is called.
Yes.
And I will say to that as well, the Night King, he is a nemesis, but he is a nemesis to certain people, and I like how they play that. Like, I love that moment that he has with Bran. There's a certain respect that he offers to the ones that are a threat.
Yeah.
In a way, like, there's a lot of the respect that he has with Jon, those stare downs that they do.
Yes.
But he's one for Melisandre and Beric, who are followers of the Lord of Light. He's one for Jon because Jon has been personally against him since the beginning.
Right.
Of the Night's Watch, so Sam and Ed.
Right.
And of Bran, because Bran, went up there. Oh, and Tormund, of course, the Wildlings. But everyone else who was south of the Wall, the Lannisters, most of the rest of the Starks, Brienne, like Dany, especially Dany, it wasn't their fight. They came in to lend their strength, but it was to lend their strength to those fights, to Jon's fight, Bran's fight.
Right.
So I love that they did that, and yes, painted Cersei as the ultimate villain of all this, because now they don't have a lot of people.
No.
They don't have a lot of people.
They're down an enormous amount of people. Although the next episode looks kind of like a party episode, so I'm excited anyways. But
although both sides seem to be partying, though.
Euron and Cersei look all happy, too.
More like drunk, but
well,
drunk, happy, it's the same in Game of Thrones.
For them, yes. Yeah.
I dug it. I think it lived up to the epicness that they were selling with saying, the longest battle in television history.
Yeah.
But no, it lived up to it. It gave me, quite a few surprises while still living up to, living up to certain things. Because honestly, that's what it's all about for me is, there is a certain roadmap. There are the beats that you want to hit. But how you get there, you can be creative as hell. And Miguel Sapochnik just earned his Emmy. He just earned his Emmy this year.
Amazing.
Because he directed the hell out of that.
Yeah.
Loved it. But now we have a lot to think about until next time.
Yes.
Until next time when we post our episode 4 Game of Thrones all positive review.
Yeah.
Because we're at the hump. We're at the top of the hump now.
Yes. It's all downhill from here now.
Until next time in the next all positive review. Stay positive and like, comment, and subscribe.